We don't get many nights like this in Scotland, so when we do get them, what a difference, and how wonderful are they. We need to make the most of it. Today then I'm going to make a short video on how to relieve sciatic kind of pain. Maria has asked us about what she can do to relieve her recurring sciatica that has come back since she stopped coming regularly to classes because of lockdown. Clearly Zoom classes are a good thing to have, but they're not the best possible thing. So the best possible thing is do more Pilates to fix your sciatica. Anyway, if you can't get into a Pilates class or can't join the Zoom classes or can't get to the recordings, here is a special one just to deal with the sciatic kind of an issue. We're going to start lying down, assuming then that you have some capacity to lie down, and just take your time coming down however you are. Put the feet and knees together and roll the knees and hips from side to side. And doing this at the start of the session is a nice way of just assessing how does your body feel before you've gone to do the movements, and how does it feel then afterwards. Keep the shoulders down, keep the head still, you're looking straight up. In my case, up at a beautiful sunlit cloud, white clouded sky. It's like a lattice shape at the moment. And relax there. Take one leg across the other, making sure that there's no space between the legs. If you have hip issues, certainly if you've had a hip operation or hip replacement, don't do this one. But otherwise you can roll the knees in the direction of the other leg. So my right leg is over, I'm rolling to the left. Come back to the center, left leg goes over the right, and I'm rolling to the right. At the moment I'm touching this post, and that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's good to lean on the structure because it allows you capacity to roll away from it with the pelvis. It's all about the relationship of spine, pelvis and leg. Back to the center. We'll do this a couple of times. Letting the shoulders relax in each direction. And then come back, keeping my left leg over my right. I'm going to roll the legs to the left. So it's a different stretch now on the right side, more to the front outside of the hip. Even though we're looking specifically at sciatic issues here today, we're not just going to deal with those muscles. And if we can make the hips generally better, everything will be better. Right over left, and I'm rolling to the right. And relax back there. Pelvic tilts. And if it's possible, pelvic tilts, articulating up into spine curls, peeling the spine away as high as you can, aiming for a straight line between knees, hips and shoulders, and then rolling back down again, one piece at a time. Tilt and peel. And roll back down. I'll tuck t-shirt in so that it's more obvious what my spine is doing. Tilt, peel, roll away. Breathe in at the top and breathe out to roll down. Beautiful stretch for the lower back and hamstrings and buttocks. It's just hugging your knees into your chest, rocking back and forth. And relax there. It's worth looking at the upper body as well, so let's lift the shoulders, hands up and over without lifting the shoulders off the mat. Breathe in to take the hands up and over, and breathe out to come down. In to go up and over, and out to come down. Float the arms up, and we'll do protraction, reaching both arms up and then placing both shoulders back down. Reaching up and down. Gentle movements here, up and down, up and down, and relax. We're going to roll sideways. Prop yourself up however is comfortable. Stack the hips, stack the knees, and stack the ankles, and stack the shoulders. Clearly this shoulder is a little bit that way, but they're in the same line. And we're going to do some clams. Top knee floats away and comes back down again. This is using the piriformis muscle. The piriformis muscle can put pressure on the sciatic nerve, and that can be a cause of sciatica in itself. So it's not as if we're trying to avoid sciatic area movement, but if we can strengthen the muscles around the sciatic nerve, they don't need to go into such a cramping situation, which often causes the sciatic pain. Has many causes, sciatica, so there's not the one reason for it. Often lack of movement and muscle tension is a big issue. And relax there. We can take that top knee up and over the bottom knee, let it drop to the mat, keeping this leg bent. Drop down onto the floor with your head and lean back at the shoulder, and it gives a really nice stretch, spiral stretch through the spine and the hips. We can also do an upper body rotation from here, rolling back with bent elbows, bent elbow rotations, following the elbow with your eyes, and relax there. Same thing then on the other side. Prop yourself up. Clams. What an awesome place to be doing Pilates outside like this. Three more here. And relax back down there. Top leg up and over the bottom leg. So we often have nights like this in Australia, Sydney, where I'm from, but this twilight dusk is over like that. It takes maybe 20 minutes. So the fact that it's now 8:45 and it's going to be like this for another hour at least, it's just phenomenal. There's no wind, it's warm. You appreciate it so much more in a place like Scotland. Gently come out of that. Bent elbow rotations. Breathe in to open and breathe out to close. Breathe in to open and breathe out to close. Last one. And relax. Up onto your hands and knees into a quadruped. Making sure that hands are directly below the shoulders, the knees are directly below the hips, and you start with a neutral spine. Make sure that you are pressed away from the floor and that the shoulders are away from the ears. The first and most obvious thing is just sitting back like this is great for the spine, great for the buttocks and hamstrings, and allow yourself to drop down. But if we want to do some more movement, cat stretch is good. Starting from neutral, we tuck under and arch the spine up. Breathe in at the top and breathe out to flatten back down. Tuck under and arch the spine up and flatten back down. One last time. Let's look over your shoulder for your tail. The fish stretch. Back to center. Same the other way. Back to center. And then sit back into a rest position. Lying on your front, one hand on top of the other, forehead down on top of the hands, shoulders away from the ears, and the legs parallel behind you. Let's do prone leg lifts. One leg floats up behind and back down. Other leg floats up behind and back down. I know it looks like my legs are not straight, but they're as straight as they can go. And the point is that we want to lift the legs from the hip joint, from this joint, not from the knee joint. So it's the buttock, hamstrings and lower back that's making the lift. If this gives you sciatic pain, then just do a lighten, make the leg a little bit lighter without lifting it off. If that's too much, you could try the big squeeze or the big kiss. Toes touch, heels roll out, and squeeze buttocks, knees, inside thighs and heels together and release. Squeeze together and release. Now all of these exercises are lying on your front. Before you go anywhere, you want to pull the belly button away from the mat. So we breathe in to prepare, we breathe out to do a big squeeze, or we breathe in to prepare and breathe out to do a lift. I would say with sciatic issues, just alternate one leg and then the other. It is a lovely thing to do a baby swan, bring the hands out into this sort of cactus position, and breathe in as you push a marble away with the nose and float the head up. The head only goes so far, you're looking towards the front edge of your mat. So it's not looking forwards, it's allowing the spine to arch up towards the sky. Belly button, of course, towards the spine as you go. And go progressively higher and higher. Hands underneath the shoulders. Press the knees into the mat, sit back into a rest position. And from here, normally we do pre-Pilates beforehand, but this time I'm going to do it afterwards. We've worked the spine, loosened off around the hips. And we're going to start with the legs, so we're even doing pre-Pilates in reverse. Leg and ankle circles. Roll the feet in, push them down, roll them out and come up. In and down and out and up. In and down and out and up. In and down and change direction. So what you can see that's happening here is clearly the ankles are moving and the feet are moving, but the knees are moving, and that means that the legs are rotating freely in the hip joint. And we don't often get that unweighted rotation in the hip joint. So it's a really lovely way of lubricating the joint and allowing the muscles to just go through a nice range of motion without really challenging them. So it's a really lovely thing to do for the hip. Sciatica has to do with the muscles around the hip joint. Obviously it has to do with the back as well. Let's point and flex at the ankles, making sure that the little toes come on board as well. Let's stay at the top, curl the toes over and pull the toes back. If we can loosen off the feet and give ourselves a strong, stable base, then all of the muscles that transmit from the feet all the way up through our posture get a chance of relief and working as they should. Stay at the top and let's spread the toes and release. Spread the toes and release. Last time, spread the toes and release. Let's create arches with the feet. So we pull the front of the foot towards the back of the foot. You can see in these stripy socks perhaps that my feet are getting ever so slightly shorter. And it's not just about scrunching the toes. It's about allowing the pads behind the toes move back towards the heel so that we use the inside arch as well as the outside arch as we pull the transverse arch back towards the heel. And relax there. Back to the original position then. Legs crossed is a lovely thing for sciatica if your knees can cope with it. We're going to do 4 of these. We normally do 3 in each direction, or 3 of each of them, but we're going to do 4 with the feet in different positions because of the angle that that creates at the hip. So bring your hands to your shoulders, reach up towards the sky and reach up and out of your own hips. Leave the hips down there, but try and touch the sky. Turn the palms forwards and fold forwards. In this position, let's creep the hands a little bit further forwards, stretching the back and the buttocks. Slowly restack the spine. Shoulders, sky. Turn the palms forwards, fold forwards. Tickle these hands forwards. And slowly restack the spine. Let's do the same the other way, the awkward way. Often the way we need to do more of. Hands onto shoulders, up to the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fold forwards. You might feel a different stretch then in the 2 hip joints. Tickle these hands forwards. And restack the spine. One more time here. Shoulders and sky. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Fold forwards. And restack here. We'll do rotations, sitting in this less comfortable cross-legged position. One hand onto the knee, the other hand flat on the mat behind you. Look over your back shoulder. Back to the center and twist the other way. Back to the center and grow tall every time you twist. So grow tall as you twist back as well. One more in each direction. The nice thing about these stretches is that they are passive. The spine can be pulled around by the arms. And that's why I've done it this way around, so that you were self-propelled on the initial spinal movements, but now you can be propelled by the extremities, and it therefore allows you to go a little bit further. The spine is a bit more warmed up. Stretch the legs out in front, flex the feet so that everything is activated, float the arms up, and we will do some lateral flexions. Now you can allow this arm to bend. You'll probably go a little bit further and come back. You can allow this arm to bend. But this one doesn't bend, it reaches up and over. You can also play around with keeping this arm straight and levering yourself up and over. So the whole shoulder joint is active. And relax there. We're going to place the hands behind you and lift the sternum up and out of your own hips. And straight away, we're going to fold forwards here. Drift back tall. Drift the hands behind you. Lift the sternum on the in-breath. And fold forwards. Sit up tall. One last time. And fold forwards. And relax there. We're also going to do some stuff seated on a chair. So I'll get a chair. We can do all the same spinal movements. Rotations. Forward reaches. Extensions and lateral flexions sitting on a chair, of course. And when you do, you want to sit at the front edge of the chair. Plant your feet comfortably. But what is particularly nice in terms of the sciatic issues is that we've got a couple of stretches that we can do here. The first one then is taking an ankle across the knee, making sure that it's the ankle, not the foot, because if you put the foot there, then there'll be some stretch lost into the foot joint or ankle joint. So place the ankle over the knee, then pull this downward knee towards you, sit tall and upright, press this hand down onto the knee and lean forwards, trying to take the chest forwards, sticking your bum out behind. So it's not about rounding the spine down, because that doesn't really affect the relationship of leg to hip to back. Whereas if you hinge forwards, then there is an increase in the stretch throughout those structures. Gently come out of that. Start with the left foot a little bit further away, other ankle over the knee, sit tall and upright, pull the foot back in, press that knee down and lean forwards here. And you can do this for as long as you want. I love suggesting this for people that are going to be on long haul flights and that gives them sciatic issues, because you can do this in the airport lounge and nobody knows that you're stretching. The airport lounge seats are a little bit lower than this and they are perfect for doing the sciatic buttock stretch. And relax there. Sitting away from the chair itself, so that you're not sitting back, you can then put your hands to the back and create space. If you need to make fists in order to get some height behind you because the seat's a little bit lower at the back than it is at the front, then that's fine. But give yourself some extension and find space in between the lower vertebrae and release. Find space and release. Equally then, if I take my hands out of the way, you can sit tall and upright and tuck tailbone under so that you're tilting the pelvis, moving the joints between the spine and the pelvis, but equally the joints where the leg bones fit into the hip joint, and relax there. Hopefully then that has given us a couple of things that we can do for sciatic issues. Maria, I hope you liked the video, and the reason I'm so pleased to have filmed tonight is that this is the advert that we should use for Scotland all the time, because clearly the weather is always like this. Thank you very much, and we'll see you around.